Good morning, children. In the previous video we have studied about tides. In that spring tide we have got. What are tides? What are the causes of tides? What do you mean by magnitude or tidal range? Then we have learned about spring tide in that chapter. Today let us discuss about neap tide. Neap tide. It is a low tide. Spring tide, high tide. Neap tide, low tide. When these three heavenly bodies are not in a straight line and they are in a right angle, they don't have the combined force, due to which what happens? High tide becomes lower than the normal high tide and low tide becomes higher than the normal low tide. That means almost both this high tide and the low tide is almost, means the level of water is almost equal level there. This is known as neap tide. When sun, earth and moon they are not in a straight line and they are in the position of a right angle. They are not extending the combined force. They are not pulling together and the gravitational pull is much less. Due to which what happens? High tides are lower than the normal and low tides are higher than the normal. This is known as neap tide. In the previous video, spring tide. What is spring tide? In spring tide just opposite. What happens? In spring tide, what happens? High tide becomes higher. High tide becomes higher and low tide becomes lower than the normal. Here what happens? High tide is lower and low tide is higher than the normal. That is the difference. Okay? Yes. And in the previous video I told the tidal range, the difference between the height of high tide and low tide. Now, what are the timings of these tides? Timing of the tides. What are the time difference between two tides? The time difference between two tides is about 12 hours 26 minutes. It is about 12 hours 26 minutes. This time period is known as tidal interval. Tidal interval. What do you mean by tidal interval? The time difference between two tides. Example. This morning at 8 a.m. here in this coastal area, high tide occurred. The level of water increased. Then as the position of the moon moves, what happens? As the position of the moon changes, the level of water also decreases. When now exactly moon is here, so moon is attracting the water body, so here high tide occurs. Then moon is moving, then the level of water decreases from here. Okay, so 8 a.m. high tide occurred again. When will be the next high tide? After 12 hours 26 minutes. That is 8:26 p.m. the next high tide will be taking place. When will be the next one? Again 12 hours 26 minutes. That means 8:52 a.m. tomorrow morning. So this is the time difference between two tides. What is it called? Tidal interval. Okay? Yes. And the tidal range, I told tidal range. What is tidal range? It is the difference between the height. Tidal range differs from sea to sea and from sea to ocean. Vast oceans like Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, etc. The high tide, the range of tidal range will be higher comparing with the Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, means enclosed seas. Their tidal range will be less comparing with the vast ocean. Tidal range will be higher in the vast oceans. Okay, yes. This is what about neap tide. Neap tide is low tide where high tide becomes lower and low tide becomes higher. Okay. Now, last topic of this chapter is effects of tides. What are the effects of tides? Effects of tides. Yes. What are the effects? Let us learn. Effects of tides. Yes. Tides help to remove the debris from the seashore. Debris. This word you must have heard in chapter 7, volcanic eruption, with chapter 9, where we have learned volcanic eruption. 9 or 8, okay, debris, rock pieces, meaning here debris, garbages, the waste material which is found on the seashore will be washed away by the waves. When high tide occurs, water increases. And when the water goes back, it cleans the seashore. So, it removes the debris from the seashore. Then we can say removes debris. Then we can say strong tidal currents help ships to enter in shallow harbors. It helps the ships to enter the harbor. How? When the level of water increases, it helps the ships to reach the harbor. If high tide is not there, low tide, that means water level will be less. Then ships will not be able to reach the harbor. So it helps the ships to enter the harbor. Then we can say this tidal, in certain harbors, tidal basins are constructed to store the water, and that water can be used for other purposes. Tidal basins are constructed. Basins can be constructed. Then this water can be used for harnessing electricity, producing electricity. It helps in producing electricity. Then we can say it helps in the formation of salt. Salt can be formed in the formation of salt. How? When the high tide occurs, that water may get collected in low-lying lands, and when the water goes, the water which is collected there, they get evaporated. What do you mean by evaporation? Evaporation is the changing of water in liquid form from liquid water to gaseous form on heating. So here this ocean water, when it gets heated up, changes into gases, and what will be remaining? Salt will be remaining. You know, sea water contains, ocean water contains salt, saline water it is. So helps in the formation of salt. Then next one we can say what? Tides govern the schedule of fishermen. It helps, just like a ship I told, it helps fishermen to reach in the seashore, or govern, they sail out and in with the tide. When the high tide time, they go in the ocean as well as they come on the shore, which helps them to reach near the shore. Then in cold countries, tides prevent the port, the harbors from getting frozen because of the constant motion of this ocean water. This coastal area, the waters in the coastal area do not get freezed. Helps helps the water will be free from frozen. Then strong tidal waves helps the rivers in forming flood plains. When these tidal waves, when the rivers come, they help to get the sediments get accumulated there. So this tides helps in the formation of flood plains near the mouth of the rivers. Then we can say the sea creatures which are attached to the rocks on the coastal seashore depend on tides to bring food for them. When the tidal water reaches, it may carry so much of seaweeds, other small materials with it. That is a major food for the sea creatures which are already attached on the rocks near the seashore. So these marine creatures depend on the tidal water to reach so that they will get food. So these are certain effects of ocean currents. With this, our 10th chapter also is getting over. I hope you understood this chapter. If you have any doubt in any of the topic, you can contact me in this number. You can call me and ask your doubt. Okay? Read the textbook, listen the video properly. If you do not understand, once again you can watch, then try to understand it. And the question answers must be written in your notebook. Learn it. No need of asking me, teacher, this we have to write, that we have to write. Everything you have to write. Okay? And if any extra questions you find other than what I give, you can find out the answer from the textbook and write the answers or learn the answers.